Hello there and welcome to another episode of Regular Beer Reviews, where regular doesn't refer to the beers being reviewed, but to the reviewer, myself. I'm Jesse, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing a beer that I've never had before. It is another one from the Erie Brewing Company, and this is their, I'm not sure if it's Presque or Presque, but let's say it's, I don't know, let's say it's Presque. It's their Presque Isle Pilsner. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments below. I know it's an island up in Maine. Pilsners aren't really like my favorite style by any means, but this was given to me, and it is a chance to break out my Pilsner glass, which I don't get to use a lot because I don't like Pilsners. I don't do a lot of reviews on them. I don't drink them a lot, so I like to give all of my glassware, equal attention. So excited about that. Again, this is from the Erie Brewing Company out of Erie, Pennsylvania. Beer Advocate gives it a 73, which is just okay, and that's with 160 ratings. Rate Beer gives it an 18 overall with a 37 for the style, and the bros have not had this beer. It has an ABV of 4.2%, a year-round availability, 17 IBUs, and the style, obviously, is a Pilsner, German Pilsner. Here's a quick descript from Rate Beer. It says, brewed in the tradition of lagers first made in Pilsner, Bohemia in 1842, our highly drinkable version isn't just golden deer like the original. Czech Saaz and classic American cluster hops produce a delicate aroma and dry finish along with a malty balance essential to the style. Follow the light and enjoy Presque Isle year-round. You found the premium lager. And it says 11 degrees. I noticed when I did the Rail Bender Ale, it gave, I think it said like 16.5 degrees at the end of the description. I'm not sure what that indicates. I'm not sure if it has something to do with like the gravity of the beer. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I could probably find out easily by looking it up, which I eventually do. But anyway, for now, let's just go on ahead and get this cracked open. I do like this glass, but I hardly ever use it. I think I've done like one or two Pilsners, reviews on Pilsners, and I don't really drink them a lot. If I'm not doing a review or something, I'm not a huge fan of them. But I'm gonna try not to be biased here, and approach this with an open mind. So let's get an appearance on it. It is it's definitely filtered, but it is slightly hazy. It is, I wouldn't say quite straw yellow. It's definitely a little darker, a little deeper in color than that. It's kind of almost orangey through the light, like the little tinges of like oranginess or something, but a lot of carbonation streaming up. As you would expect for the style. It had maybe a half finger head when I first poured it, but it's very frothy, and it is dissipated quickly into just a frothy ring. But what's there is pretty white. So, yeah, let's go on ahead and get a nose on this. Oh, wow, that is super malty. I didn't expect it to be that malty. That is, like, really, really malty. There's like maybe a little bit of like citrusiness or something going on there. The maltiness it's like bready and sweet and kind of yeastiness going on. Man, that is like really, really, that's like overly malty on the nose. But there's a little bit of citrus in there. I wouldn't contribute it to hops or anything. I doubt they brew this with citrus peel or anything like that, but there's like a citrusy quality to it. I'm not picking up on anything that I can distinguish as hops in the aroma, but I don't know, really it's hard to get past that malt. Just a sweet bready malt, and like that's it. And then a little bit of citrusiness, maybe kind of a grassiness, a little grainy. Yeah, so anyway, let's go on ahead and jump into this one. Actually, that's a hell of a lot better than a lot of Pilsners I've had. That's not horrible. Um, the maltiness isn't quite as prevalent on the flavor. It is sweet. It is bready. It's a little yeasty, almost like kind of biscuity. But then I am getting at the end like the slightest little bit of like a hoppiness. It's very citrusy, very light. But there's definitely, like I said in the aroma, like a citrusiness there. And in the middle of the palate, the sweetness, I would almost, it reminds me a lot of honey. I mean, I didn't see anything in the description, and it talks about it being a traditional Pilsner. I'm like positive this was in no way near, it was not brewed with honey. But it almost tastes like honey, like mid-palate. Like when I exhale, I'm getting like a taste of honey in my mouth. It's really sweet. It's got that kind of, again, like citrusy, lemony qualities to it. I wouldn't contribute to the hops. I mean, well, the hops seem a little citrusy at the back end, but there's like a citrusiness at the front, like kind of with the maltiness that, I don't know, it's like it's kind of grassy, kind of just bright. I mean, this beer almost reminds me of springtime. But then what's really interesting me, what's really got me interested, is middle of the palate. It almost, it tastes like honey. It's, I'm not sure how they got it like that. Yeah, it's a little bit of almost what seems like yeah, man, there it is again. It's like that kind of sweet, like really super. It's not super sweet in flavor. I mean, there's definitely sweetness there. It's not like as sweet as honey, but that kind of distinguishable flavor that, you know, when you taste honey, you taste the sweetness, but it's that distinguishable thing that lets you know it's honey. It's like I can taste that. And then it almost tastes like too the lemon. It almost tastes like there's like hints of like ginger or something in there. This is actually a nice beer, and it's more complex than I would have thought. Um, Given that most pilsners I have are just they're just cheap, especially American made ones. Which, because I've had good like craft breweries that do a lot of really good beer, and they'll put out a pilsner, and it just tastes like a cheap light lager. But this is good. I like this. I'm gonna give Presque Isle Pilsner. I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. That's a C. That's good. I like this beer. Um, I mean, again, it's nothing it's nothing amazing, but I mean, it the beer itself is not like nothing amazing, but it is amazing that it's a pilsner, and it's this is good. This would be like really refreshing on like a summer day. I mean, this beer would like hit the spot, man. And it even be better because I've had a lot of recently, like a lot of like Belgian style like triples and wheat beers and stuff that are really light and citrusy and fresh. This, I think I would even take over them. Not that, because I've really grown to love that style. And this doesn't have near the complexity or, you know, I mean, the balance that those beers, you know, have and can bring. But as far as just a refreshingness goes, just the level of refreshingness, I don't even think that's a word. The refreshability, that's not a word either. Whatever it is, the amount of how refreshing this beer is. This, I think it beats them all. I mean, this is so refreshing. It's just good. It quenches my thirst like so well. This would be great on a hot summer day. I mean, this is a good beer, and I didn't, because I don't really like overly malty beers. I didn't think that I would like it as much from the smell, because it does smell really malty, but it's not quite. It's not nearly as malty on the flavor. And excuse me, I like this beer. Again, I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. Presque Isle Pilsner. If I'm saying it wrong, correct me in the comments. And with a 4.2% ABV, this is certainly sessionable. I mean, you know, on that hot summer day you're having them, you could drink them all day, and I mean, you know, it's going to take quite a few to put you over the tipping point. This is, it's sessionable, it's certainly drinkable. I mean, this beer is so refreshing. I really like this beer. So once again, 7 out of 10 for Presque Isle Pilsner. Thank you for watching, and keep watching again in the future for more reviews. Prost.